Navigating the Quickening of Change. A message from Selacia. We now sit in an auspicious time between February's two eclipses, providing a window of opportunity to reassess and re-empower ourselves to prepare for our next big leaps. Taking advantage of this time is vital to our spiritual progression and being able to adapt to the dizzying pace of change is unfolding. Quickening of Change. When we look back on these moments, one thing will be clear. Change not only has become our new normal, but the pace and intensity of change has accelerated. What we are dealing with here is not familiar. Earlier decades and even earlier lifetimes did not involve this type of quickening of change. It is unprecedented. When I was preparing my 2017 predictions for publication and coming up with some tools you could use to navigate these strange times, I discovered just how warped time had become. And I discovered, too, just how complex our lives are now. My annual forecast, therefore, became a more extended one, with the full premium version giving you an in-depth roadmap to navigating the twists and turns. Consider now as you read these words how this year feels to you so far. Has it registered within you just how different it is? More importantly, have you sensed that this year can be one of your most significant this lifetime? Continue reading to better understand what these things mean. The current eclipse window, and the quickening of change. Auspicious eclipse window. The February eclipse window is a span of time between the February 10th to 11th lunar eclipse and the February 26th solar eclipse. Energies are intense and erratic, with many surprises unfolding. Some are personal, others planetary. The energies of the first eclipse are now rippling out and preparing us for the second one. The first eclipse is catalyzing a deeper knowing of things we couldn't access before. We will see in our outer world, for example, secrets come to light and veils lifted on information that was misrepresented. In our inner world, we have a huge opportunity to access deeper places within ourselves, helping us to get to the core of issues that have blocked our progress. Dreams are especially powerful now. If you have an insight from a dream or simply an idea coming to you randomly, take note. There could be a gem there for you. Quantum approach is key. With the pace of change in high gear, the universe is nudging us as divine changemakers to step into our full power and do so with a quantum perspective. All of the mundane fear-based chatter we are being exposed to is linear and regressive. It takes people nowhere. We must resist the temptation to get caught up in this negativity and fear. One practical application of the quantum approach is to keep our focus big picture, with our eyes on the future and what we want to create. We must remember that we are the creators of this world, not victims who can be tossed around like a football. During this month of eclipses, we are experiencing a major gateway to higher consciousness on this planet, despite appearances to the contrary. One reason I focus in my healing work on understanding our past lives like those in Egypt is that in doing so, we reconnect with our larger soul journey and purpose for being here now. This is a quantum perspective. One reason I focus in my healing work on understanding our past lives like those in Egypt is that in doing so, we reconnect with our larger soul journey and purpose for being here now. This is a quantum perspective. Remembering gifts and abilities, as well as key connections we made with others, during an Egyptian past life can be the seeds that help us to move into our highest roles as divine change makers. This is simply one example, of course, but worth contemplating in these moments. Daily tips. Throughout this month, remember to factor in moments of rest and relaxation so you can be refueled regularly. The more intense the energies, the more quiet and inner work your being requires to function at its optimal levels. Do your best to stay positive, even if the world seems crazier by the moment. Invite a sense of play and laughter to help you regroup and get perspective. Lastly, to take advantage of the eclipse window, stay present. Allow for volatility, surprises, and opportunities to shift the view you have of yourself and your potentials. Think big.